what's going on? Y'all all right? Listen, let me ask y'all a question. All these black Puritans out here, let me ask you something. Listen, I heard a brother one day, and he was talking about pornography. And he was talking about what pornography do to you. And the other guy asked him, how do you know about this? You used to watch pornography or something was going on with you? And the young man said, no, I ain't never watched no porn. But I just know, and plus I did study on it and research on it. But how do you know, he asked, beyond that? How do you know? How do you know people, all the people that watch porn? How do you know? How many people you know are assigned to go certain places? You see, it sounds fucked up, don't it? How many people you know are assigned to go into spaces where people like yourself wouldn't even dare go? You see, just to bear witness to it, just to let something see through you. You see, you got to be strong. You got to be strong to go down to these worlds, because see, there's things down there. Just like watching porno. Just like watching porno. Have you ever watched porno and you held yourself in? You see, you held yourself in, but you felt what it was doing to you. You see, you felt what it was doing to you. You felt it. What did it do to you? What would it do to you? What do these things do to certain individuals with different personalities, different characters, different stars they came from? You see, what do it actually do to these minds? Or I wonder who the individual was talking about. You see, because I think he said something. I think it was like in general, people who watch porn. You see, you have surveyors in the spirit, and you have surveyors that go to some sites, and just watch shit and get paid for it. You see? So I be wondering, like, how do people be knowing? Are they watching you watch these things? I remember when I got caught up. I got caught up in an assignment, you see. And inside of that assignment, I met some people, some females, and it was something about them that made me do some crazy shit. You see what I'm saying? They made me do some crazy shit. Later on, I found out who they were in the spell that was there. You see, later on, you see. But it was for me. It was for me. It was for me to understand and for me to learn it. You see, for me to understand and for me to learn it. But that right there, that didn't hinder me or bother me. It didn't hinder me or bother me getting caught up like that, because it was easy for me to see. Well, afterwards, it was easy for me to decipher, saying why I fell into it, you see. But when I just don't understand. Like, when people are inside of your shit and they go to and they follow you behind the wall, how come they don't never pull out the other shit that people like me search for? You see, these abominations out here. What are they? We talk about this shit, but we ain't never experienced them. You see, we just talk about them, and then we do some work on it and try to put scientific methods and understanding to them and things. And you never been through shit. you ain't never touched it. You see what I'm saying? You ain't never like died in it. You know what I'm saying? Came out of it. You know what I'm saying? Went back, slipped, came back. You ain't never went through it. So I'm just saying, like, have you ever seen a man get his head chopped off? And you just sit there and you just watch. Did you know that that's more powerful than watching porno? Seeing a man get his head chopped off, and his hand. Have you ever seen a woman get her tit chopped off? You see? How about seeing a man get shot? You see? Just get shot and just watch him flinch. Just flinching and all this other type of shit while people just standing around watching him die. Have you ever watched that? All the way to the end? Have you ever seen shit like that? Have you ever seen babies and shit be burned and then ate up by people that look different from me? You know what I'm saying? Have you ever seen that shit? How come people don't be talking about shit like that? Some of us have to go through shit. We got to go. It's called 360, nigga. See, it's called 360. You see, you go down to these spots. You go down to these spots. You don't do it like it's an intent. It just pops in your head to do it. You don't know where it comes from, but you're used to the messages coming that way because shit like this started when you was a kid. Everybody that I know that's like myself, all of us are the same. We got this information when we was a child. You see, it's being inquisitive. You see, it's being inquisitive. You want to know shit. Oftentimes that leaves the child. You know what I'm saying? As soon as they hit puberty and things like that, and then they start, well, I don't know. I don't know if it, I don't know. I think but it leaves every once in a while, the inquisitiveness. You see? It depends on your institutional understanding, you know what I'm saying? Or your indoctrination. You see? Because most indoctrinated people aren't inquisitive. You see? They just hungry for knowledge. You see? No experience. They just have the knowledge and wisdom, but no experience. You see? And they can talk good shit, you see, and pull people in, and they don't have no experience, you see? But then when the people come who have experience in some of these abominations, you see, and can't really articulate it, you know what I'm saying? Because it was like, you ain't never tried to articulate it. Ain't nobody really asked you nothing, So you probably try to articulate it the best way you can. You see, you see, I mean, what is it? I mean, how? I'm just trying to understand how these people's minds work, man. How they mind work. They a lot of these people they just sit back and they listen to you saying certain things, but the only thing they can pull from you is the shit that they was peeking at. I don't give a fuck if you know that I watch porno, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? I watch hella shit. That's just one of them. Why you choosing that one, motherfucker? Why you choosing that? Shit. The thing that fucked me up, that I'm still trying to get out of my head is seeing the niggas juggling the vein, all that blood and shit squirting up and shit. It's hard to get this shit out your motherfucking head, nigga. And that was 5 years ago. You see? It's just hard to get shit like that out your head. You can get porno out your head and out your system. You know what I'm saying? But that motherfucking getting killed and murder and chopping up babies and eating them and shit, that's hard to get out your motherfucking mind, nigga. That should have drive motherfuckers like you crazy. You see, all you motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? Who be trying to who be sneaking in other people's shit. You know what I'm saying? Or listening to other people and all this other type of shit about people. You know what I'm saying? You know, I mean, it's just fucked up, man. You know what I'm saying? When you fuck with that 360, nigga, you're gonna have to go low. You're gonna have to go low because the rainbow is like this. That's a 180. You're gonna have to go all the way down to the other foundation. That's 8, 7, 6, 5, and 4. That 4 connects to the 3, that 8 connects to the 8. But goddamn it, that 6 gonna take you down. You see, it's gonna take you all the way down to that motherfucking pit. And it splits up to a 33, nigga. You're going straight to hell. You're going straight to hell. And you're looking down in these pits. And it's and shit is concrete. As soon as you get down into this cavern or whatever it may be, the first thing you're gonna do is start seeing a whole lot of motherfucking shoes. You see, you're gonna start seeing a whole lot of shoes, thousands of shoes, just piled up, like stacked up like filth and dirt and shit. That's what you're gonna see, shoes and shit. You see? Hundreds of them, dirty, filthy shoes. Men and women, shoes. As soon as you go down, that's the first thing you're going to see. And then you're going to start going through all this sulfur smelling shit. You see? And then you walk through this other door. You see? You walk through this other door. You're going to see a place that'll look like paradise. And you're gonna feel good about what you're seeing. You see? But as soon as you go and just start exploring, this is when shit gonna start happening inside of this paradise. Critters that you ain't never seen before. Little people that you ain't never seen before. Flying things that you ain't never seen before. You see? And here's the gist of it. In order to get out that motherfucker, you're gonna have to blink or something, or learn how to wake yourself up. But if you don't pass that or go through that motherfucking course down there, nigga, you're gonna have to do it again and again. You're gonna have to fight all these motherfucking things. And all these things are measures to release the things that's on these videos and all this other type of shit up on this level. That's what them critters and shit is. You fighting them. You see, you fight all these things. You see, you fight all these things. From the biggest to the smallest, nigga. Yeah, you ain't know that, huh? You see, one of the most beautiful things in the world is stop talking in the wind. And go to people if you're really concerned. Go to people straight up so you will learn something. You see, so you'll learn something. Don't just don't just take yourself and put yourself in a position and try to teach something and you don't have no motherfucking experience and you came out the motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? That little weak ass shit, pornos and shit, that little weak shit. Shit, when I was out in Oakland, one of my homies and shit, man, he had a whole video goddamn thing. You know what I'm saying? Shit, we go to the house and everybody doing porno shit. Nigga, that shit is just a way of life. Shit, in California, people do that shit every day. Shit. That shit ain't shit. You see? Just don't get caught up in it. You know what I'm saying? Don't get caught up in that shit. You know what I'm saying? Because it'll snag you if you're weak. It'll snag you. You see? It'll snag you. You see? And oftentimes you can see when, let me share something with you, and I wasn't gonna share this, but oftentimes when you seeing certain things, like in these interracial things, you see, like I have a lot of people, CIA and FBI, on my ass. They be looking at my shit. So I go check them with the mother of their nation. You see, I check them with the mother of their nation, giving fellatio to motherfuckers my color. You see, and it fucks them up. They can't stand that shit. They can't stand that shit. Yeah, sounds fucked up, huh? It's a whole fucked up world, huh? What's in these airwaves? What's in these frequencies? Who's riding these frequencies and shit? Do you know? You don't know, do you? You don't know, do you? Yeah, you know. You're probably praying to him.